So last session, your characters had just finished rescuing the family of the police officer from that house on the side road in Bamber Lake near the boys' home where you guys were set up, uh, learning about what Nightbane are and all that neat fun stuff. You crossed the mirror wall and you ended up in the Nightlands. You learned, hey, this is really strange. The Nightlands are bright, and your new Nightbane allies, Treads being one of them, said, yeah, this is not the way it should be. It should be, a night sky with kind of a reddish hue. Instead, it was like you were walking around in bright daylight over there. You were able to rescue a handful of people from a labor camp near the where you guys crossed over. They were mining something called dark steel, and you defeated a handful of hounds and hunters that were guarding them. You were just getting ready to cross over the mirror wall, where back to Earth Prime, when I said cutscene. We're doing things a little bit differently, and that cutscene started something like this. Your perspective shifted, and you're all sitting in the back of a military APC kind of transport van. The radio's going off, and you can hear 7 Adam 15 approaching the Bonsai Hotel. Subjects are thought to be armed and dangerous, definitely supernatural in origin. All of you are members of an organization called Spook Squad, jokingly, but otherwise known as the Echelon team, Team Echelon. You all come from different parts of the U.S. government, agencies, or military branches, and you've been pulled in to work with the PAB, or Paranormal Activities Bureau, to combat different supernatural threats. The real world has no idea that these exist, but you guys are so deep in the Men in Black world that vampires exist. Werewolves are a thing. People who can transform into monsters. These are things that you've trained for. Some of you might have seen some action, a little bit here and there. Some of you might not have. But what happened today has never thought to have been possible. You woke up at the barracks to the alarm sounding, and it was just mayhem. Black armor-clad creatures that were 6-7 feet tall were in the hallways butchering fellow soldiers and agency members. Giant worm-like creatures with tentacles and gaping maws were shoveling lab workers into their mouths. You and your group were one of a few that were able to get to the armory and clear out the base of the attackers before everything was lost. One of the creatures was actually able to be taken prisoner, and they had they looked like a copy of one of the scientists that worked there, and they let everybody in on the plan when enough pressure was applied to them. They had sent a team over to these creatures, a team over to one of the nearby museums to secure a set of relics. These relics were from Sumeria. They were all bracelets, and they were heading toward the Bonsai Hotel to hold on to them and effect travel back to where they came from. After they met up with one of the agents from the Nightlands. Nightlands doesn't really make a lot of sense to everybody working there. It's not a term that everybody was intimately familiar with. Some of the higher-ups were, and they looked concerned, to say the least. So they activated your squad and sent you on your way to this hotel in order to secure these artifacts, bring them back to the base, and prepare for additional missions as necessary. And you guys are going to pull into the parking lot as this is happening. And I'm going to turn it over to you guys. Questions, role play, whatever you want to do.
So we're first responders then?
Your first responders in a secret government branch that works with the Paranormal Activities Bureau.
Okay. But I'm saying we're first responders to this incident now.
Oh yes, you are first responding. You and a handful of other teams.
Right. Okay.
One of the things you do know is that the governments around the world are being taken over by shapeshifters, including the White House. You are privy to that information.
Which one of us is in charge?
Which one of you wants to be in charge?
I think Cannabella does.
Okay.
Oh my God. Don't put me in charge.
Do we vote on it?
Can we flip a coin? Can we roll?
Everybody roll a
Let's roll
die.
for
High
it.
rolls the person in charge.
What kind of die?
Dealer's choice.
Roll a d20.
Just
D20.
interesting to see what everybody went
D20.
with. Oh no.
Our fearless leader.
Oh, looks like Frail's in charge. He rolled a 19.
All right.
You can
That's
do
fine. I can do this. So describe the scene to me again.
Okay, so you have rolled up on this. The hotel's kind of, you can see a picture of a hotel up. It's not exactly the hotel, but similar. It's a 2-story hotel out on a more of like a desert-ish road. It is dark outside. There's no light. The only light sources are street lights. The only light places that are visible are the radiuses under those street lights. This hotel looks like it was built in the 70s at some point. All the rooms, the doors are facing outside. There's a small office that looks to be probably abandoned. There's blood smeared on the windows of it. From the inside, looks like a hand might have slapped on it and kind of worked its way down. There's a few cars in the parking lot.
Company vehicles or pedestrian or
Civilian.
Civilian.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, your Hondas, your Fords, your Chevys. Nothing newer than like 1995. Everything's pretty, about 5 years old or older.
All right. So as we pull up, I'll just say the first thing we need to do is establish a perimeter and make sure we have eyes on inside. You, and I'll point to you, Tom. What's your character's name?
You can call me Rogers.
Rogers, stop messing around. Get up there. Get me eyes on the inside.
All right. Is there are these like the picture shows? The doors are on the outside?
Doors are on the outside.
So there is no inside.
Then
Where would you like me to go?
Find a way inside. You have a walkie-talkie?
Which room?
Any room. Just get Case, walk around. Find a way in. Do you have a walkie on you?
Everybody's got walkie-talkies. You have all the standard gear necessary to work as a SWAT unit.
Okay, I'm gonna make my way down to the endmost hotel room.
Okay.
Actually, hold on. I'm going to actually go to the front office.
Mm-hmm.
Are there do I see anyone inside the front office?
You see what might have been someone. It's more like scraps of cloth and gore everywhere.
Okay. So there's no one physically, there's no one besides this dead body.
If you want to call this a body.
Okay. So I'm gonna make my way inside and move around the back of um the counter to
Hmm.
where the keys are.
Okay.
What keys are missing?
A handful of keys are missing. Room 14, 11, 6, and 30.
Okay. So I'm going to try to get keys 12 and 13.
Mm-hmm.
7 and 29.
Okay.
I'm going to move out and move to, I guess, room 7. Um, do I hear anything going? I'm going to be very silent, opening the door to 7.
No, you don't hear anything.
Okay.
Hold on one second. Dog's freaking out. Somebody's, I guess, delivering DoorDash across the street. Okay. Yeah, no, you don't hear anything too. You don't hear anything coming from the room.
Okay. Gonna go in, shut the door, and um, radio that I'm in one of the rooms. I'm in room 7.
Okay.
Give me a sit rep of room 7, Rogers.
It's empty. I'm gonna listen to the wall between 6 and 7. Do I hear anything coming from next door?
Let's see. I gave you 4 rooms.
Yeah, you gave me 14, 11, 6, and 30.
No, you don't hear anything coming from that one.
Okay. All right. I explained that there was 4 room keys missing, and I don't hear anything coming from the first one that was missing, room 6.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
So for the rooms that he suggested, would everybody be able to be in eyes sight if they were standing outside of the rooms?
You could see him going to the rooms from where you guys are set up by the van.
So if we had everybody out and about, like I would be able to see all 3 of them if they were standing outside of the rooms.
Yes.
Okay. And I'll like Rogers, come out and take position in one of the other rooms. You, Riley Sue, take position on the. Is there a second story or is this all first story?
It'll be 2 stories, yeah.
Yeah. Get up there in the second story in room number, whatever room number that was, and Death, your character is going to be Stanley.
Stanley.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what you want your guy's name to be. You want to be Stan. You're Riley Sue. I tried to come up with the most like
name to be Butters.
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 Yes, you are
Come on,
Butters.
fellas.
No, guys. This seems sketch.
Sirs. Get out of the back. Stop playing with the radio. All right, never mind. And Butters is clearly smoking and passed out.
Who are you talking to, me or him?
But he's Butters.
Oh,
I don't know. You guys didn't give me names, so I just wrote him down in the chat. Put you down as Riley Sue.
I'll take it.
Of course you will. Heard that about you. Yeah. So I'll just ask them to go stand in front of those doors. Keep eyes on each other. I don't know. Get ready to breach if they hear anything.
Okay.
Go take position within M16 at the door. I'm ready to breach.
All right, so you're each at a different door. I'm going to do some chaos here. Let's start with, I'm going to look at my screen.
I'm in front of door 11, and I'm going to go into room 12.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and roll a die then. Ooh, okay. You head into room 12. How do you do this? How do you head into room 12?
I am unlocking it with the key
Mhm.
because that's one of the keys that I got, and I'm going to be very stealthy
Mm-hmm.
and like shimmy in
Mm-hmm.
and shut the door when I'm inside
Okay.
and look around and see if I see anything.
In this particular room, you do not.
And I will listen to the wall between 11 and 12.
Okay. While you're listening to the wall between 11 and 12, because my little chaos die did a thing, you're going to hear kind of like a wet smacking sound. A little bit of crunching.
In this room or in the room next to me?
The room next. Like you can hear it through the wall. 'Cause
Okay.
You said you were like listening through the wall, like as best you
Yep.
can. So yeah, you hear like a wet smacking and kind of crunching sound.
I'm going to use Morse code and not speak and type out room 11.
We collapse to room 11. I'm on your 6, man.
Butters, what the hell do you think you're doing?
It's in
Well,
room
you-
11.
I gave no such order.
Yes, I told you that it was in room 11, unless you just don't know Morse code.
Or I understand that, and since I'm the commanding officer, I did not tell him to go there.
Well,
I'm sorry, what?
like I said, I just told you what was going on, where everyone was.
Yeah. Right.
So make your choice.
I'm trying to. You're over here superseding my authority.
I do not respect your authority.
Well, it looks like he's on his own. Clearly, I don't understand Morse code. He said room 33. Riley Sue, check out 33. I'm just kidding. Riley
Roger.
Sue, go back up.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll Morse code back. Go back up, Rogers. Butters, provide
Roger.
cover.
All right. Let me head over there.
Okay.
So, in looking at these walls, how thick are they?
Oh, these are your crappy of crappy hotel walls. Like you could definitely hear the guy with the hooker next door if that's what was going on.
Right.
The people might have screamed, "He's wearing a wire!" just to shut people up at night. Sometimes, like this is one of those roach no-tell motels on the side of the road.
Yeah.
So not very thick at all. And that wet smacking sound and the crunching, it's gonna like intensify for a moment and then kind of like settle down. And you're gonna hear, if you want to call it speech, there's definitely there's at least two distinct voices going back and forth. They're not speaking any language that you recognize in any capacity. It's not even like, that sounds like a dialect of Russian. No, this is like some weird shit that you would hear on a science fiction or a horror movie track with. It's not normal sounding speech.
Gotcha. I'm going to convey through Morse code that there's at least 2 unknown entities in room 11, possibly more.
So I come up behind you, and I like put my hand on your shoulder, and my gun's in my right hand, and I'm essentially waiting for you to breach.
Who?
Mm-hmm.
Who? Who are you
Well,
waiting to breach?
You're the one. You're the guy at the door. You know what I mean?
No, I'm in room 12 and I locked the door behind me.
All right. Well, then I guess I'm breaching. So I head up to the door of that room. I just clicked the microphone like 2 times to signify I'm ready.
Okay.
Do we have any smoke grenades or flash grenades? I know you said we have grenades, but are they smoke or flash or just standard?
You can have some smoke grenades.
Apparently, Riley Sue is saying that the nearest support team is 10 clicks away. I will come if Butters is gonna breach, then I'll come behind with smoke grenades and get ready to toss in.
Okay.
I don't know why you're laughing. You said it, not me.
I'm just trying to help.
So as soon as you're in position, I'm gonna like step off from the side of the wall in front of the door. My gun at the ready, I'm gonna hold it up, raise my leg up, and blast that door as hard as I can with my boot.
Okay.
And
What do we
then step
see?
into the room, gun aimed forward.
All right.
I got my M16 aimed forward.
All right.
And I'm essentially looking for targets. If does it have attachments? Is there like a flashlight on that I can turn on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
You
turn.
know,
the
I
flash-
brought smoke grenades in, so I would have. I'm throwing in a smoke grenade when you kick the door open.
Okay.
All right. So, you kick the door open. 2 things are going to need to happen here, real quick. So, can you see the thing on the tabletop?
Yep.
The token. All right. So you kick that door open, and there are 2 of these things that are like 8 feet long. They're wormish in appearance, with a big gaping maw, lots of teeth, and tentacles whipping all over the place on them. They were shoveling what was left of the occupants of probably the other rooms in the hotel, to be honest with you, into their mouths. There's gore and slushy bits, I guess we want to say, of the people left over on the floors. Part of that sound you were hearing is probably them chewing, but also moving around on the carpet, which is soaked in. We are going to do a horror factor check, the first one you guys are ever going to have to roll against, against these things. How that works is you roll a d20, and you need to roll higher than this creature's horror factor. The horror factor for this particular creature is, honestly, I don't think that bad. We're looking at a 12 for these 2.
Yeah. I got 16.
All right, so you've passed your horror factor check. You are unaffected by the scene in front of you. And everybody else needs to roll d20 that's with you, that's opening that room door. Just whoever's there. 12
I'm
meets
just throwing a smoke grenade in. I'm not looking in.
All right. 12 meets it, so you're fine. And you're tossing a smoke grenade in. Easy peasy, done. I'm not going to have you roll the thing. If you say you are not looking in, you're just tossing a grenade. You're fine. So I got Cannabella, I got Death. Tom, are you looking, or what are you doing here in this situation?
I'm still in room 12.
You're still in room 12. That's right. All right. So, that's in there. Smoke grenade goes off, and it fills the room with smoke.
Do I have a chance to react to what I'm seeing?
Because you did the kick, like the door breach, typically no, but I will allow a single action, and then initiative.
I just want to shut the door and be like, whatever's in there ain't human.
Well, we'll smoke it out then, Butters. Stand back. Keep your gun. Safety's off. Well, there are windows, right? Going in, I assume, on the side.
Oh yeah,
No?
yeah. There are windows
Yeah.
that you can utilize.
Yeah, I will. Like, 'cause we're on the second floor, so I will set up like 2 rooms down, so that way if they try to jump through the windows, I can shoot without being hit.
Okay.
I will pull both grenades off my belt and say, clear the room and the wall. On my walkie, pull both pins, open the door, and throw them both in and slam the door back shut and get the fuck out of the way.
Blast it with that smoke, boss.
I'm gonna back up to the wall next to 12 and 13.
Okay. Well, like I said, there was that one action, then initiative. So go ahead, roll initiative. That is a D20, and we're just gonna do straight D20 rolls here for these.
Okay.
All right. So they have a 4. They are probably going last.
I got a 16.
Yeah. So whoever, you guys are all gonna act in your order, and then the worms are going last. Like I said, straight D20s. Yep. So it looks like Death, then Tom, then Frail. Wait, no, Death rolled a 16. Was his? That was your horror factor roll. 10 is your initiative roll.
It didn't move up until after.
Yeah. 10 is your initiative roll. Cannabella is 6. Bah, Tom is 15. Frail is 13. And the wormy worms are 4. Yeah. All right. That's going to be the order you're going to go in. Tom.
I am going to move back against the wall between 12 and 13 with my gun prepared in case they come through that wall.
Okay. Next one would be Frail.
Like I said, taking up that defensive position, a couple rooms down in case something tries to come through.
All right. Death.
Like what I said, pull both grenades, pull both pins, got the handles like in between my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Open the door just enough to get my arm in, launch those grenades in, slam the door shut, and then step out from in front of the door.
Okay.
And crouch down.
Okay, so I don't roll attack. I don't have an attack roll for you for the grenades because it's a small like room, and it's you got enough kind of. You should be good to hit them from here, and the blast is 20 feet, so pretty much wherever that grenade lands in that room, they're going to be hit by part of the blast, especially since you're tossing 2 in. So just go ahead and roll the damage. You've used your 2 grenades that you have on your body. That's 2d4 times 10 per grenade.
Hold on a second. 2d4. The first one is 30.
Yep.
Come on, man. Get the fuck out of the way. There we go. The second one is 50.
So 30 and 50 is
80.
80. Kaboom, kaboom. These 2 grenades go off, and you hear these creatures howl and scream. They are going to do something, but not before Cannabella does what they are going to do.
I am also going to take many, many steps back and crouch down. Safety off. That's ready.
Okay.
I got somebody six. Whoever I'm closest to.
So everybody's basically taking a ready action, readying up, being defensive, except for Death, who launched those 2 grenades in the room and set off an explosion. So the worms are up. These things are going to crash through that door. And I mean, they are going to turn it into splinters. And I think, Death, you're going to be the closest person in this situation. They do need to roll a 10 or higher to hit you, not a 5 because of the armor. And only one of them's going to. One of them absolutely missed on an 8, and the other one did hit on a 19. How this thing is going to hit you, or at least try to, is it's going to whip one of its tentacles at you as hard as it can. And that is going to do a little bit of damage. It's going to hit your basically your riot gear. And it is going to do 6 plus 5, 11 points of damage to your armor.
You said we have 140, right?
You have 110 total hit points.
110. So I'm at 99.
Yeah.
Okay, I have it tracked.
Okay.
I'm just like, ooh.
Yeah, it's going to toss you back a little bit because this thing is supernaturally strong.
Sure.
It's not going to like knock you off your feet or anything, but that tentacle whip is going to hit you and it's going to throw you against the railing. Like you are going to lose your feet for a moment as you go backwards and you hit the railing, and that gives you it rights you so you don't like hit the ground or anything. You're fine, but
Okay.
it hurt.
Sure. I imagine if it hit you hard enough to launch you, it probably hurt real bad.
And that brings us back to the top of the round. With, because I didn't write this down. Tom.
Yep.
Is first, then Frail, then Death, then Cannabella, then Worm. Okay. Now I wrote it down. So yeah, Tom, you're up. You heard the grenades go off, and then the sound of, well, the explosions, but then like after that, a wall or something getting blown out, and of course these unearthly screams and screaming howls.
And I hear them at the front of the room where they would have come out the front door.
Yeah, they would have came out the front and onto the walkway.
Okay. I'm going to move to the front door.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm going to move to the front glass and look out the glass.
So you see 2 these like 8-foot long, tentacle covered, mouth ended worms. Just.
Do I need to make me a roll?
Yep. You got to roll D20. 12 meets it or beats it.
Oh,
1. Okay. You are going to experience horror factor. All right. God, horror factor. horror factor is something that supernatural creatures have that makes them just naturally, well, horrific. It's a supernatural terror that it induces in you. And it's going to have you be temporarily stunned. You are going to roll the d20. Just to explain the mechanic for people who are watching. The player must roll the d20, just like parry or roll must equal or be higher than the horror factor. A failed roll means the character is so overwhelmed with horror that he or she is temporarily stunned. This means the character loses initiative, loses one attack that melee, and is the last person to take action or attack. And they cannot defend themselves from the first attack of that creature. Fortunately, the character snaps out of the shocked stupor quickly and can join the combat that same melee by the second attack. So you're only stuck for this attack. Your next one comes back up. You're good to go. By the second melee, the character has completely regained their senses and is functioning as normal. So, however you want to describe your supreme horror of this disgusting eldritch being that's in front of you.
I'm looking out the window and I feel like I've lost my mind. I just stare at it, mouth agape, and just can't speak. Just as I watch it attack my teammate.
Okay. Next up is Frail.
I gotta roll mine as well. Sorry.
Oh, yep. You're going to see it for the first time. 12 meets it or beats it.
Woo!
You successfully... I mean, this thing's pretty ugly. This thing's pretty horrific, but you are not stunned and locked from it.
All right. I'll say open fire to contain, and I'll start shooting in a way to push it back inside the room.
Okay. I assume you're using the big gun.
Yeah, the AK.
Okay. So that does 46 damage.
All right. 2, 3, 4. So I will shoot it for 14.
Okay. So these things have taken 80 and 14. So 94 points of damage so far. Well, just one of them's taken 94. The other one's taken 80. All right. 80/94. The next person up is Death.
The one that the captain just hit,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna mag dump. Just
Okay.
you need me to roll the hit, right?
Yep. It's going to be a 5 or higher.
I hit.
All right. So you are going to do... Your damage is 4d6.
Nine.
Okay. So you did 9 points of damage to it. You said you were mag dumping.
Absolutely. Like, I would figure, like, this situation would be so far beyond the normal that, like, a normal controlled reaction would be out of the question.
Okay, so that's entire magazine. Shooting off an entire clip magazine within a melee round is possible. 100% of the rounds are fired. Damage. Okay, we're going to redo the damage roll. Damage roll the normal dice, okay, for 1 round, okay, 46, and then multiply that by 10. This uses 2 of your actions. So you did 9 points of damage.
Yeah, so 90.
So 90 to one of them.
So the one that So the one that the captain shot.
Okay, so the one that was damaged the most.
Yes.
That is enough to, like, you unload your magazine into this thing, and it's just kind of like that scene from Tremors where they're just pouring round after round after round after round into it, and it's just gore and blood is just popping out of this thing. It twitches as it's kind of falling backwards, trying to retreat, but you are able to dispatch this thing in a very overkilled fashion.
Fuck yeah.
Just screaming as you empty your entire magazine into it.
That seems like a thing I would do. Yeah, so I just step up and I'm like, just, like that scene from Inglorious Bastards where they're in the movie theater at the end,
Butters! I told you to contain, not destroy and kill.
It's contained to death.
Are we ever supposed to like secure, or are we just kill squads?
Oh, you guys are murder laters most of the time.
Okay, all right.
It's
never
very
mind
rare you take prisoners. You would if it makes strategic sense, and you think you can get something out of them if you can contain them. But Spook Squad has no qualms about ending the life of anything supernatural. It's actually their default mode.
I mean, good job, Butters. I'm gonna put you in for a commendation.
Remember, you still got one of these things,
We
and
survived, sir. Thank you.
the other one sees this
Um,
before Cannabella can do anything. Before you guys
just-
can... Oh, go on.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Quick question.
Yeah.
Am I able to reload?
Your next action.
Okay.
That does count as an action.
That's fine.
So before Cannabella can act, the other worms is foolish humans. Ah! And lurches toward Death because he is the biggest threat at this point in time. And now it's Cannabella's turn.
Okay. Do I have to roll for the scare factor thing?
No, you have already done that. That is only one time per seeing the entity in a scene.
Got it. Okay. And where am I in relation to this one?
You're somewhere on the balcony, from what I understood. Taking up a defensive posture. You can see it. It's in your line of sight. Did we lose her?
Yeah, call her Riley Sue.
Miss Sue, are you muted? I see you
I'm
lighting up.
like, yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So then I'm open fire. Oh,
Your
can you
microphone.
hear me?
Now I can. There was a little bit of mic issue there.
Uh-oh, always. Okay, so I'm gonna stay low and I'm gonna open fire on kind of what I would consider to be the underbelly of it, where I figure it's gonna be the softest tissue,
Okay.
and I'm gonna just open fire on that.
That is a 5 or higher.
Okay.
So roll me that D20. That is higher than 5. You do it. You're doing that with your big gun or your sidearm?
The big gun.
All right. That's 4d6 for damage.
Oops. Missed it.
No, not 1d6 plus
We gotta do
4.
that right.
Yeah, just click on the d6 4 times.
Okay.
And that'll do it. There we go. 10. All right, so you unload out a round and pop it right in its underbelly for 10 points of damage. This thing took some damage earlier, like I said, with the grenades, so it was already kind of hurting. This makes it kind of rear up and scream off at you, scream off again. It's wounded. It's not happy. But Death just killed its buddy. And it's gonna hit him. He's going to bite at Death this time. And he's going to sink into you for 4 points of damage. Not a whole lot.
I'm like, I'll give a good yell.
Yeah, like it's going to bite you like on your shoulder and chest.
Okay. Does it stay latched on, or is it just bite?
No, it's just a bite and go.
Okay.
And that brings us back up to Tom, who's now no longer in a scared stupor. He has snapped out of it. The sound of the world has returned. You have regained senses.
All right, I'm going to open the front door to 12 and just enough to aim at the creature and fire my AK.
Okay. You're going to hit it. How much is that? 16. All right. So 16 and 10 is 26. It already took 80. So that's 106. That is going to be enough to drop it. That shot, just from where you're at, was just perfectly placed. Goes through like the side of its jaw and out the top of its head, like from the front. Like, just really good shot.
Yeah, piece of shit, die.
Oh yeah. Thanks for getting my back. The thing's bite is painful. But the whip across the chest, that hurt the worst. I think I need to see the medic. I gotta make sure this wound doesn't get infected.
So,
All right, Captain, what are we doing now?
I
remember you
walk
were,
over. Huh?
I was going to say, remember one of the things, just because there was a lot going on in the beginning, you guys were supposed to be retrieving artifacts.
Yeah, I was gonna walk over to the corpse of the worms. Riley, start taking samples.
Roger.
Scope out the rest of the rooms. Oh man, I don't have my notes in front of me. Oh man. Rogers.
Okay.
Morse code if you see anything.
Okay.
I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna call, well, I guess Langley Central Command.
There's a group that you can get a hold of, your local liaisons, but right now all hell's breaking loose because the government's falling. Everybody's kind of on the run. Leadership's decentralizing. You're just trying to you were sent out to recover these artifacts because they thought that it was that important that these don't fall into the wrong hands.
Okay, well, never mind. Then yeah, we'll just all three of us follow behind Rogers here.
But
while
you do
Riley,
have, I was say, you do have that leadership you can get a hold of.
No, that's fine. If everything's going to shit, yeah, then I'll have Riley get samples while we go look at the next room, and then have Riley come with us.
Riley, if she's getting samples, is she going to check that room for any of the artifacts?
Sounds like a Riley question. Well, if there were any artifacts, Death probably blew them all to hell.
I don't know what
I
you're
can check
talking about,
to see
sir.
artifacts.
Well, there were only 4 rooms that were taken, so it was room 11 that we just checked, and right down here at room 14. And then there's room 6 and then room 30.
So
I guess I'm going to check 14 first.
trying to remember which room was the one that you guys just fought the worms in.
11.
11. So you're gonna check 14 first.
Yep.
Okay. Opening up the room to 14, you definitely see signs of a struggle here. And there lays one body that looks like it's been bludgeoned in by now you would understand a tentacle, but looked like the head was caved in by some kind of bat or something if you didn't know any better.
Check their bags. Check the bags of the person who's in here.
Clothes and junk.
Okay. Check any other closets or drawers or anything for anything. Just gonna be thorough.
Yeah, with this room, you're just finding standard traveler fare.
Okay. All right. Let's go to room 30.
Okay.
And I'll follow behind.
I was like, as you go to fall behind, I'm like, Captain, what am I supposed to do about the wound on my chest? Do we have medical backup?
Rub some dirt in it. Butters, do I look like a medic?
Thanks, Cap. I'm gonna smear blood all over my uniform.
Hey, those aren't standard issue. You're going to have to pay for that.
Yeah, I did pay for it in blood. I reload my gun. Fresh mag.
I'm going to look over at Rogers. I'm like, some men just aren't cut out for the job.
Okay. So you check the next room. Okay, go on. I'm sorry.
Nothing. It's fine. Go ahead.
I find it funny that nobody checked the room with the worms that were in it.
He threw grenades in there.
Yeah, whatever's in there ain't happy.
Room 30. So I'm gonna change things up here a little bit. We're gonna add a chaos die. 98. Okay, cool. Room 30, you do find something. There is another there's another corpse in here. This one definitely has seen better days. This one, it was thrown against the wall so hard it stuck there in the wall. And it's got a beam sticking through it. But that's not the interesting thing. The interesting thing you see is a old leather type suitcase with what looks to be a large leather bound open tome sitting on a desk next to it. And what's going to strike odd here is not odd, or just maybe it's a coincidence. Probably isn't. You're trained not to believe in coincidences. They're wearing they look like they're wearing similar clothes to the people that were being eaten by the worms. You know, kind of like outdoorsy diggers type clothes.
Okay.
So yeah.
I'm going to look at this book.
The book is open, and on the pages, it's written in a language you're not familiar with. Maybe Italian, maybe Latin. You recognize like a word or two here or there, like, hey, I've seen that written on something before. Isn't that on like a seal for, in military training? You saw it on some kind of seal or insignia. So you're convinced it could probably be, most likely is Latin. And there's other arcane symbols and diagrams in there. Being a member of the PAB, you are at least passingly familiar with the concepts of what a magical item would look like, or at least what the trappings would be. You couldn't tell if something's legitimate or not, but you're familiar enough to go, hey, this is occult in nature.
All right. Is there any pictures or anything?
Like photographs or pictures on the page drawn?
Pictures on the page, like they were drawn, or
different arcane symbols and kind of circles. It looks like there was some on anatomy. Kind of hard to make out. Like it looks almost like a body being put together by clouds or dust.
all right. I'm gonna shut the book. Is there a bag or anything that looks like it may have came out of?
Yeah, next to the desk there was that large leather bag as well.
Okay, I'm gonna look inside it.
Inside it, you're going to see 4 metal wire knotted arm. They're either bracelets or bracers. There's something that goes on the forearm or upper arm, but they're kind of like they're really old looking, and they're wire knot and solid metal as well. There's 4 of them.
Okay. I'm going to put the book in that bag and go check room 6.
Room 6. You find nothing. Looks whoever was here had put their stuff and left, and they have not come back.
All right, let's go look at room 11 since it's the only place left.
Room 11, it's got the same type of... It's got some, well, what was left over of bodies. Some scraps of clothes. It's blown to hell. Nothing really of note here.
No bags or anything that's salvageable?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to report that the only thing I found was this book and these bracers that are in this bag.
I'll say back to bring them to the car and secure them in the trunk.
Okay.
And what I assume we have containment stuff for them.
Probably. You're all still up at the hotel, like on the balconies of the hotel, right?
Yep.
All right. So, as your guys are having that conversation, who's looking out over the parking lot right now? Like, who has eyes on the van?
I guess I would, because I'm just standing on the balcony, like.
Yeah, I would, since I just come out of that room and I'm looking to go put stuff in there.
What you're going to notice is down the end of the road. This is going to be strike you as a little bit of odd. At the end of the road, you notice this figure underneath one of the street lights, and it's walking. It goes under, it leaves the street light, disappears, leaves the cone of light, disappears, reappears underneath the next one. And it does that several times, getting closer and closer to the van. You're able to make this out when it gets within the street light that's underneath the van. It just steps out of the darkness directly into light, into view. And it's just probably like, it's sized compared to the van. This guy's probably about 6-ish feet tall, 6'1", 6'2". wild, like wind-blown black hair, wearing a black suit, a white shirt that's got like the top 3 buttons undone, and wearing like big sunglasses, kind of almost like Blues Brothers-esque type sunglasses. And he's gonna look up at you, and he's gonna shout out, "Looks like your boy's got something that belongs to me. How about you be nice and bring that down for me so I don't got to come up there and get it from you?"
Let's look over at my cabinet.
Speak your name, friend. Who do you report to?
Oh, I don't report to any of your agencies. I report directly to Lord Moloch, and he sent me for what you got there in that bag. I think you should hand them over.
I look over at Riley, Sue, and Rogers and whisper, "Do you have your grenades?"
Yep.
Light the bastard up.
Ready.
Send him back to hell. Yes, we'll be right down. Would you prefer it hand delivered or just throw it?
Just be a good lad and bring it over for me. I don't care how you get them. You can't damage those things. Their power's beyond what you're capable of understanding anyway.
Fair enough. Wouldn't want to set Lord Mollusk. Rogers, give me the book.
Hand you the bag.
And I'll slowly start walking. And then, let them do their business.
All right. I do need
I'm
attack
gonna-
rolls for these.
Yep. $15.
Oh, for a second.
Whoa.
All right. So you toss those grenades out. And they go kaboom. But nothing happens. Like they go poof. There's a loud explosion, and the guy is just standing right there staring at you. He's like, "That wasn't very nice. I guess I'm gonna have to come up there and get those things myself. Can't have you guys. Can't have you leaving here though. So we're gonna go ahead and take care of this van for me." And he just puts his hand on the van for a couple seconds, and it just melts like T-1000 in Terminator movie. It just kind of liquefies and. He smirks and then slowly starts walking in your direction.
We've trained for this, and I'll throw the book at Riley. Run! Load them up, boys!
Yes,
I'll
sir.
just start shooting.
Gonna start, with the AK.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I'm not going to require any attack rolls for this. I'm just going to say that you are going to hit on these. He is going to activate a skill that he has, a power that he has, I should say, as you're firing these bullets. And that is going to be his transform matter ability. This power, this aspect of power allows to change lead into gold, plastic into iron, etc., vice versa. They can transform guns into candy and wine into nitrous glycerin. The matter costs 20 PPE per pound of matter transformed. The transformation is permanent unless the fiend spends energy to change it back. Living beings and organic matter cannot be affected. So I'm going to let you guys hit. with your thing, and then I'm going to use that ability. So just
Well,
go
if we're
ahead
getting
and roll
hit-
your damages. Anybody who's firing their guns off.
Yep.
All right, so I see 16.
39 points of damage.
There you go. Thank you. You're better and quicker at math than I am. 39 points of damage. It just thunk, 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 thunk. Like, and he does kind of like the ow, 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 ow. Like, you know, movie cinematic. I've been shot. Kind of like takes a couple steps backwards and leans forward and goes, gotcha. And he's going to expend some magic. And he's just going to put his hand out in front of him and kind of just, you know, like a gesture, like the magic fireball gesture, or, you know, somebody throwing an energy blast from Dragon Ball Z. All four of you fired off your guns?
No,
Three of you
just
did.
3.
All right, everybody pick a number to fire your guns. Actually, you know what? I'll just do it. Tom, you're 1. Frail, you're 2. Death, you're 3. Let's go down the line, all right?
Okay.
1. Your gun turns into a cookie. It's a cookie-shaped gun.
Well,
Gonna drop it.
What does it shoot?
chocolate chips.
Yeah, well, it's got to be shooting something.
No, it doesn't shoot anything. It's a solid cookie.
Oh, all right. So he's Majin Buu.
Well, he could do that. He could do other things. You want me to transform into something else? Because Majin Buu. All right. He does that, and it transforms into a puddle of water and just falls out of your hands. There, less Majin Buu. I thought a cookie would be funny. My bad.
It was funny. It was Majin Buu. Who doesn't love Majin Buu?
I
Okay.
dropped it and it crumbled. I dropped it and it crumbled when it hit the ground.
All right. It was a cookie. You dropped it. It crumbles when it hits the ground.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles. It had to be done.
Cannavelle is the only one that didn't do a thing there. What are you doing?
I'm running.
You're running? Who has the bag, by the way?
She does.
I'm running.
She does? Okay.
I did. That's why I'm running.
You're
Yeah.
running. Okay, so you could run pretty fast. He's gonna have fun with the 3 here that are doing their thing. And what we'll do, each round, we're gonna say each round you get a +5. Each set of actions, I should say. So when this creature goes, that'll give you an additional 5. And we're gonna add that to a D100 roll. Okay. Now we'll do a D20. We'll do a D20. And at the end of it, at the end of whatever happens here, I'll roll a D20 versus your D20. And if you roll higher, you get away. If you roll lower than me, he'll pursue you and close the gap a little bit. And we'll do that until either you get away or you get caught.
Oh shit.
Well, it'll make sense while we're actually doing it. But we'll set up the pursuit. It'll be however many we need to get. All right, next round. Tom's cookie gun is in crumbles. This thing's going to go last, by the way. It does not take you guys seriously at all. So you have every opportunity to do whatever you want in this situation. It is either severely underestimating you, or it is just that much more powerful than you.
Well, it's that much more powerful than me, I believe. So, is there any other cars in the parking lot since there was 4 rooms?
Yeah, there's a handful of cars. There's at least 5 to 10 cars in the nearby vicinity.
Okay. I'm going to take off and run
Okay.
I don't know whose turn it is, but I would also be like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna book.
Yeah, you guys can freeform this.
Okay, so yeah, I'm essentially running after Tom and Cannabella as they're fleeing. As we're running, I'm just saying, what's in that case? That something like this would come after it.
It's a magic book.
Is that all?
It's a
Who
fucking
told you
magic
to
book.
run?
Me.
Get back here!
You can die if you want to.
Agreed. That thing turns guns into cookies, sir. Are you insane?
Cowards. And I'll pull out my. I'll go to engage with my nightstick. I forget what I can't see what it was called here. I know it's
Tonfa.
not called that.
Tonfa,
Tonfa,
nightstick, whatever. It's all the
Yep,
same thing.
I will run in to engage with that.
Okay.
He's gonna get ripped in half.
Yeah, I'm just fucking protecting the world, douchebag. What are you doing with your life that's so good?
So you're running at him with the.
Yeah, with the Tonfa.
Okay.
Or I'm jumping down. I'm jumping down from doing the super strike.
All right. Let's do a high roll thing. High low. Roll a d20.
Low. Low.
Are you high? You're low. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going low. Yeah, dog. Can't go lower than that.
Okay. You hit the ground. You're fine. You're gonna charge him now.
I was trying. I thought he was close
Oh,
for me to jump.
You're gonna hit
swing.
him like as you're falling down, kind of like the
right.
shovel and
Yeah,
head.
I was
Okay,
going with the jump hit. Going dramatic, baby.
gotcha. You are going to do. I'm going to give you double damage on that one.
Okay. Wow, I should probably roll the damage of the
yeah,
weapon.
that's a d6
Yep.
times
I'll just
2.
do 2. Yep. Well,
Nah, you can do that too, or you can take that 2 and multiply it by 2.
There you go, 4 damage.
Okay, 4 damage.
Just like crash into him.
No. So you fall off the ledge. You jump off this balcony. You smash him in the head with this thing, and like his head like gets rocked down. He doesn't lose his footing, but he's gonna look directly at you and go, "Does that feel good?"
I'll look directly at him and say, "Welcome to Earth."
I hate humans. I really, really hate humans. And he's going to put his hand in front of you, like just put his hand like right on your chest. And he's going to use his ability called Release Energy. This power enables the character to unleash large amounts of pure energy in the form of plasma, fire, electricity, or light or laser blast. Each blast does 1d6 PP damage per 2 PPE spent. So, an example, a blast doing 46 times 10 would cost 80 PPE. And why not spend the 80 PPE and rock you with that blast?
Oh, you're dead.
That's 200 points of damage.
Goodbye, Captain.
I die as I lived.
Yep. So you rock him in the head. He just looks at you, puts his hand on your chest, and it's electricity. This one's going to be electricity. It's just a lightning bolt through you.
Mm-hmm.
Your body gets tossed off to the side. And he's going to turn his attention toward Tom and Death, who are running that way.
Oh, Jeff, this is not good.
You have just seen the thing happen. What are you doing?
I am going to.
life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there a car close enough to get into that's running away from him?
Yes.
I'm gonna jump in it.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going with Tom here. I'm jumping in that car.
Okay.
And I want to try to, I guess, hotwire it.
All right. So that's going to be a jury rig. 45%. I guess it'll be the base that I'll give you.
So I need to get
45 or less on a
unreal-
D100.
Okay. Yes.
All right.
Yes!
You managed to start up the vehicle. That is going to be your action this round, though, is the jury rig.
Okay.
Um,
All I've done is get in the car. Do I still have something I can do?
you still have stuff that you could do.
I reach my foot over and jam it onto the gas.
Are you playing footsie with him?
All right.
Yeah. Kind of
So
we don't.
Tom's head is
Underneath the
underneath the steering column. Just to give you I'm not going to say you can't do this because it actually makes sense that you would
If he's-
because of what you just saw. But Tom's like kind of half in the car. I'm assuming like he's opened up the car door. His head's underneath the steering column. He's trying to hotwire this thing. He just did it. And you're going to stomp on the gas from the passenger seat. And
No. Can I like pull him in and stomp the gas?
you do one or the other.
I'm gonna pull him into the car.
Okay.
And I'm like, come on.
You pull him into the car. Successfully. That's your action.
Yeah. I'm good
All
with
right.
that.
Cannabella, you have a +1 right now. Remember that.
Yeah, boy.
I'm sorry, +5. Its turn. What do I want to have it do? Death said he wanted to see a reality warper, so I decided to break one out for a one-shot, all your characters die.
For the record, I said I wanted to be a reality warper. That's a little different.
Let's go with... I don't want to use transform matter again because we already did that and had a gun cookie. Let's do this. He's gonna melt matter. They can cause solid matter to assume a liquid state. In the case of most metals and solid materials, this means the matter will become incredibly hot. Any matter will suddenly heat to its melting point. Anybody holding a metal object will thus melted will take 3d6 points of damage. 2d4 times 10 if a body armor or vehicle is melted on top of the character. 1 point per pound. He's not going to melt the whole car because that's just overkill. He's going to melt the roof of the car. Just the roof. How much is the roof of a car? How much does the roof of a sedan weigh? The roof of a typical sedan weighs between 100 and 200 pounds, depending on the car model and materials used, with most weight coming from the metal paneling and supporting structure. Thank you, Google. You're awesome.
I'm going to die now.
So melting a 2-ton car costs 4,000, but we're not going to do that. We're going to melt 200 pounds. So yeah, we'll just say 2d4 times 10. $40 points of damage as the roof melts down on top of you. You are all sitting in the melted metal.
Would I be sitting up since he pulled me in?
Yes. This melted metal like just flows from the top of the car. Like the roof just liquefies and drops on you like a water balloon being burst.
Okay.
And it burns.
All right, just let us know when it's our turn again.
Your turn.
All right, I'm gonna try to get out.
You can get out.
All right. I'm going to run.
Yeah. That seems to be the play. Let's do that.
All right. You're running. It's just going to do... Oh, by the way, Cannabella, another +5. It's just going to throw an energy blast. It's just going to be the easiest thing to do. So, Tom is 1. Death is 2. Tom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to lower that to 3. Preserve some mana here. And this is going to be a bolt of lightning as well. Does 140 down you?
Yeah.
All right, 140. You're wasted from the top up. Death, you're running away, and your buddy just... two of your friends have just been annihilated. You still going to run away?
Is there any obstacles to put between me and this thing?
Cars, a truck, shrubs, some concrete, a metal fence, like a fence railing. And while all this is happening too, Cannabella, you get to hear your friends, your squad mates, dropping.
Keep running.
So yeah.
Let me think. This is in the same time period, right?
No, it's exactly the same day. This is the same day that your Nightbane are experiencing.
No. I mean, it's... Oh, okay. So, but I mean, it's like the year 2000.
Oh yeah, no. This is year 2000. Okay. This is what's going on. This is happening concurrently with your Nightbane characters. Like, they're doing their thing. This is happening at the exact same time.
I would like to... Okay, I got an idea. All right. I'm going to put the rear of a car in between me and him and back up about 20 feet from it. So he has to, like, walk past this car to get me. And when he walks past the car, I'm going to mag dump right at the gas tank.
Okay.
And try to blow the car up next to him.
Okay. Blowing car is I'll give it 100 points of damage flat. That sounds like quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, it's like right before I start shooting, I'm just like, run! And then
boom, massive explosion. You cannot see it. You do not see this guy. He walks up to the side, you're right within range, and it kabooms. Michael Bay would be happy.
Hell yeah.
The fire is whipping and roaring.
Do I have additional magazines?
You have additional magazines.
Dude, I drop that mag, pop in another, and get ready to blast him.
Okay. That was your action.
Sure.
And he's going to step out of the fire. His clothes are fuckered up. He's like, I liked that suit. I really liked that suit. And he's like, you know how this feels? Do you want to know how this feels? And he just snaps his fingers, and he's going to use the melt matter again. This time on you and your armor.
I just give him the finger as he burns me alive.
60 points.
Yeah, I die.
Okay.
Giving him the finger as I burn. Just fuck you.
He turns and he starts walking away. And you hear, Cannabella, you hear him shout, "Where are you? I want what I came for." All right, we're going to do a high-low roll. It's been, what, 3 rounds? Ish?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do here,
Yeah.
it's going to be best 2 out of 3 on this roll. You have plus 10. I'm got a 20, just a D20, straight. There's a good chance you might get away because you ran. And you got some distance ahead of you, and he doesn't know exactly which direction you went in. So go ahead, roll the D20, add 10 to it. Then we're going to compare our rolls. 8 and a 1.
Oh, shit.
You rolled an 11, though, because you had that plus 10. So you maintain your distance. He does not catch up to you. Roll another one. Yeah, you maintain your distance. He didn't figure out which way you were coming from. And the last one. Yeah, no, you successfully get away. You survive.
Yes.
So this whole time he's trying to find. He's walking out to the desert. He's moving in the darkness. You can hear it kind of off in the distance behind you, and he's screaming, "Where are you? Where are you? I want my things. I came for those. Bring me what is mine." Stupid, weak humans. And as you're running, it gets quieter and quieter, but you are running deeper and deeper into the desert until you hear nothing. Like, you do not, his screams are just so faint in the background that you can't hear anything. And then we're going to cut out of here. Okay, go on. Sorry.
I was gonna say, and then I just think to myself, shit, Riley Sue, how do you keep getting into messes like this? I haven't been in anything this intense since probably Berlin 1987. And I'm just
And from there, we're going to rip out of the scene, zoom out, away from this desert, and it looks like you guys were in New Mexico. And we're going to go across country and zoom back down through the mirror into the Nightlands where your normal characters are. You have just rescued those people, and you're helping them through the mirror. Treads is helping them through the mirror wall, a couple people at a time. This is taxing him, but you guys aren't good enough with your abilities yet to really transport other people through the mirror wall. But you're in the Nightlands as your regular old Nightbane character. You just rescued those people. What do you want to say to each other?
holy shit.
Whew.
This is not what I expected.
I hope they don't go upstairs.
Tread's he's gonna say, I told them that we're getting them. Jaws is getting them straight outside as they go in. Why, it's strange that they have them out here digging for dark steel ore. There's hardly any of it here. And one of the prisoners, this isn't one of the family members from the house. It's just some random person who's been in the Nightlands for a really long time. Their clothes are tatters. They're like, dark steel. We weren't really mining dark steel. We were looking for a box. They had us looking for these bracelets. Tredge is like, bracelets? Yeah. And the prisoner, he draws a symbol in the ground. It looks like 3 overlapping triangles with a diamond in the middle of them. And he's like, yeah, they said they were, if we found the box that had this symbol on it, that we had to notify the overseers immediately. And Tred's eyes narrow down on it, and he goes, that's a seeker symbol.
What's a seeker?
Seekers, we don't work with the Seekers very often. They're a group mostly of human wizards and sorcerers. If they're looking for something that has their symbol on it, it's got to be something magical in nature.
Seekers near this area?
There was one, he was working out of Rutgers. He was posing as a professor of mythology and literature. Most of them have a day job that lets them stay within the walls of academia and not look too weird doing their research. Brian McAllister was his name. Still on faculty, but with what's going on here, this invasion, he's definitely going to be in danger, because he's one of the few humans that knows about the Nightlands and the Night Lords. But that would probably be who we should talk to, or you should talk to. I'm going to have my hands full here with the Resistance, getting people mobilized. If you guys want to go talk to him, that is.
Does he have a phone number, or do we have an address?
Rutgers.
Well, how do we get
Phones?
to Rutgers from here?
Drive. We're only an hour or so away from it. Man, how long you lived in New Jersey for? You don't know where Rutgers is?
About 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're not from Jersey. Yeah, Rutgers is in North Jersey College.
Well, it depends on which campus.
True. We're going with the North Jersey campus.
I got you. I was saying, because there's one right outside Camden.
Ew. I forgot about that one. God, could you imagine Camden during dark day?
I think Detroit would be worse.
It is a dark day in Detroit.
Yeah, right. It's already there.
Right? He's like, yeah, no, that's probably your best bet, because remember, all the phones are down. Phones aren't working right now. Emergency services are overwhelmed. Driving's probably your best bet. I'd stick to the back roads, though, or brightly lit freeways, but they're going to be congested and clogged. So, yeah, back roads will probably get you there quicker, just not safer. What were you going to say?
Oh, I don't know. Go ahead. I mean, I can fly, but I don't know about the rest of y'all. I'm assuming not.
Fly for that long?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you shouldn't fly there.
Well, I'm just saying.
We should all be a group as we talk to this person, because we don't want you to scare him off.
I concur. I concur.
So you'll get in the car and we'll drive.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Treads gets the last of the people through the mirror wall, and you guys pour through after him and end up back on Earth Prime. At least that's what I'm going to call it to make more sense. But regular old Earth. And all the light is gone again. The sky is just a solid sheet of black. The only light available is from the artificial sources, and it is 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Should be waiting for Nate at this point.
And that's where I'm going to end the session this time.
Okay. I just don't want to go too far without him.
Yep.
Oh well, at least we killed some